Mayadeen for convening tonight's gathering for the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian People. From my comrades in the heart of the belly of the beast, I pass my salutations to everyone in this room, and above all to the glorious resistance forces in Palestine, Lebanon, Yemen, Iraq, and Iran, who represent our international compass for the struggle towards liberation. They represent the level of organization, unity, militancy, and steadfastness to which all free people of the world should aspire to, no matter where we find ourselves geographically. Unable to defeat the unbreakable ingenuity and determination of the resistance, the Zionist American enemy has resorted to the only lifeblood that it knows, genocide, attempting to annihilate the popular cradle that nurtures, sustains, and regenerates the resistance. Because I'm rooted in the West, I want to speak to the movement in the West. Lacking such a popular cradle and culture of resistance amongst the mostly pacified and complacent masses in the imperial core, we have seen only limited and isolated pockets of resistance there. For most Westerners, solidarity is a mere abstraction, words rather than action. But a small minority have taken up the responsibilities of true solidarity with the seriousness it deserves. Direct action groups like Palestine Action have dismantled Zionist weapons factories. Individuals like Elias Rodriguez took international law into his own hands by executing 2 Zionist diplomats in Washington, D.C., the heart of the U.S. empire, and now faces the death penalty as a result. There are also numerous political prisoners currently locked up for their participation in the Palestinian liberation struggle in the U.S., such as Casey Goonan, Tarek Bazrouk, and Jakai McCrae, the tens of thousands detained in ICE concentration camps as part of the American regime's ethnic cleansing programs, and long-term political prisoners from militant national liberation struggles such as the Black Liberation Army, martyrs such as the great Assata Shakur, who transitioned to the next life this September from the besieged and liberated territory of Cuba, where she sought refuge from racist persecution and imprisonment.
Today we are here to commemorate the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian People. This is a day that unfortunately has for many years taken on in many ways a misleading representation because it has been associated as the official day of the United Nations. When what this day does is it marks the great betrayal of the United Nations toward the Palestinian people. That is the partition of Palestine, the passage of Resolution 181, the colonial crime to steal the land of Palestine from its inhabitants, from its people, from its indigenous Arab people, to whom, the only people to whom the land of Palestine belongs. But today, we know that the crimes of the United Nations in regard to Palestine, and for that matter, in regard to Lebanon, to Syria, to Yemen, to our entire region, are not simply something in the past that we can commemorate and remember and accept the fact that the United Nations passed a resolution to adopt this day as an International Day of Solidarity without rectifying the harm that was done by rescinding Resolution 181 and rescinding its recognition of the Zionist entity in Palestine. We look at the bombings of children, the bombings of families, the assassination raids happening every day in the West Bank. We look right now at the brave fighters in Rafah who are struggling to hold on, besieged in the tunnels in an area occupied by the Zionist entity, and struggling not just for their survival, but still for Palestine, for liberation, with courage, with sacrifice, and with commitment in the way that the brave and heroic resistance of Palestine, of Lebanon, of Yemen, and throughout this region have served as an example to the world, not only for the past 2 years of Al-Aqsa flood, but for the past 78 years of struggle against Zionist and imperialist colonialism in the region.